Welcome! This is our film pitch on Exposure, our upcoming film. We hope you enjoy it.
So, regards the group responsibilities, Bondi is playing the director, George is being the editor and also playing the antagonist, Dom is the cinematographer and protagonist, and I'm being director of photography.
As for storyline, the basic plotline is that a journalist finds some incriminating evidence relating to a police commissioner in a city which is highly well liked, but clearly there's a criminal undertone to him. And after finding this out, basically his life is in danger as he tries to track the journalist down, finds himself hunted, leading to a final standoff at the end of the film. As for influences, we took a lot of influence from Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, as it's kind of a similar plotline of a journalist who finds something incriminating and then has his life endangered.
So in terms of characters, we have the protagonist, which we've named James Bentham. He's quite clearly the journalist, so we plan him to be a British white male. On the other hand, the antagonist, we're naming Max Truxton. He's got a darkening name. He's a police commissioner, which we're planning to be quite corrupted, which is why he's positioned in that role. But he's also a white male, and once again, British, obviously.
In terms of the mise en scène, we're going to have two locations. One's going to be a press conference, which is going to be filled with journalists and the police commissioner. The other's going to be a basement or an abandoned building, depends what we can find. The lighting within these, for the press conference, is going to be mostly natural light with sort of the normal artificial light, so you'll find in the building. Basement, we're going to add a couple of lights just to make it a bit more intimidating.
So in terms of costume, we've got the protagonist, who is the journalist, just wearing a simple shirt, no tie, probably an unbuttoned collar, sort of more casual look, possibly a blazer, we're still contemplating that. The antagonist, on the other hand, he's going to be in a full suit because he's a very professional character, possibly a badge to show his position, maybe a plaque just in front of where he sat. And in terms of props, we've got the hostage room, with the bag being put on the protagonist's head once he's taken hostage. And in the press conference, there's the commissioner plaque. Information boards behind the bench, and microphones on it, obviously, because it's a conference.
The target age for our film is going to be 15 to 40. That's mainly because it's an action thriller, and so it might not be appropriate for younger ages. The gender is predominantly men, and that's because, once again, it's an action, and stereotypically it's men that prefer action films. And the social demographic is middle to working class.
So that was Exposure.
Any questions?
I have a question on the practicality of the press conference. You say you're going to have lots of journalists. How are you going to actually do this? Are you going to have lots of actors or just use camera work to
We're
make
going
it
to
seem
bring a few people in. There won't be many, and then we'll try and use some camera work to make it seem more filled than it actually is.
Obviously it won't look like a full press conference because of our resources, but we can make it reasonably similar.
What location are you considering using for the press conference?
The drama suite, because obviously it's got the black curtains around it, and we can sort of control the lighting and control what you can see around it.
I'd also encourage some kind of signage going on there to show maybe a police logo in the background
Yeah, that's what we're
behind
thinking
them.
in terms of the notice board.
Mhm.
Try and get some of those billboards, and you can stick sort of on one. You can stick the sort of police logo, and others you can have maybe the ongoing case and have like pictures and information about it.
Okay. Are there any other films that you've been influenced by at all?
Partly kind of Cape Fear as well. That was kind of useful for the kind of the battle between someone who knows who wants revenge, is kind of someone who seems good but is actually haunted. It's kind of a mixture between those two, I'd say.
Okay. Any other questions?
In regards to sound, are you planning, obviously you've probably got a lot of dialogue, are you planning to use much music?
Yeah, we plan to use mainly during the hostage situation, definitely sort of tense strings, things like that, to really tensen it up. And also during the press conference, we'll probably just have some slower music building up to when we're going to kind of reveal the corruption, and the way that's going to then change the non-diegetic sound as well.
And who's going to take that responsibility for sound design?
Let's probably go for one.
George, yeah.
Okay. Any final comments? No, thank you very much.